Last night I was thinking about something that I wanted to address. I keep hearing people say things like, you attract to you who you are, or that your outward situations reflect your inner person. I do not believe that at all. At 43 years old now and reflecting a lot over my life, looking at so many things in hindsight, it really became clear to me last night that I believe, I cannot speak for anyone else, that we reflect lessons. We draw to us the people that are going to teach us who we are and teach us what the world is about and what the world really is. When people see me, they say, "Oh my gosh, you look so rich." My grandmother used to always tell us, no matter what you're going through, rich or poor, you never let anyone see you look poor. Perception is everything. Yes, there are times I've had pennies in life, and there are times that I've had hundreds of thousands of dollars. But money does not determine how wealthy your mind is. I have always seen myself as someone that is cultured, wealthy in friends, wealthy in business, successful in life. It was always on the inside of me, and it was always up here in my mind. In reality, that may not have always been the case, but it's not a reflection of who I believe I always was on the inside. After what happened yesterday, which a childhood vision and dream was fully fulfilled. It took about 37 years, but it confirmed to me that I have a loving, invisible ether, a comfort, a wisdom, a guide that loves me and wants what is best for me. And so as I relaxed my mind and thought about the beautiful manifestation that happened yesterday, I thought to myself, everything that I've gone through from the age of 5 all the way up to the age of 43 has prepared me for that moment. Everything that I was drawn to, or what was drawn to me, was to teach me and grow me as a person, teach me about life. It doesn't necessarily reflect who I am as a person. Just because there were times where I was poor doesn't mean that I had a poor mindset or a poor inner person. Just because I've been homeless at times doesn't mean that I have that mindset or that my inner person is downward trodden. If you have true faith, true hope, and you stick to your vision, no matter how impractical it seems to people, you will get there. I just want to talk about what happened yesterday. When I was a toddler, about 4 or 5 years old, I had a vision. The first thing I saw in my little child mind was airplanes, hotels, and I knew that I would not live anywhere. I could not see myself living anywhere. I could see that I would always be chauffeured. When I was in the 3rd grade, I sung This Little Light of Mine for show and tell. I don't know what made me do that. I just totally forgot that it was show and tell. I didn't have anything to show, so I decided I would sing. I discovered that I had an amazing gift vocally, and Whitney Houston was my teacher. All I knew was that singers, Whitney, Janet, Michael, all of these people that I loved as a child, traveled on planes, stayed in hotels, and had drivers. I just figured, well, I would have a singing career. That's what I would pursue. So I pursued music my whole entire life. What I expected from that pursuance is not what happened. That's a whole nother story. While I am talented vocally, while I am an amazing songwriter, just like so many people in music who are not famous, and when it comes to fame, I realized at a certain point that I did not want to be famous. When I was 14, my father passed away, and my brother and I inherited the property. We do not choose the families that we're born in. We don't even choose to be born. While I love the people who are my blood relatives, people did what they believed was right for them to do. Pretty much from the time that I was 6 up until I was 33 years old, I lived in the same house until I lost my home in the 2008 real estate market crash, which means that there was so much that I did not do that other people my age were doing. That includes dating, that includes going off to college, that includes apartment hunting, that includes having roommates. But when you have a home, yeah, I brought people in that stayed temporarily. There were many girlfriends that had children that I helped out. I rented my rooms out at various times. I mean, I struggled. It wasn't easy to have a home fall in your lap and no one guides you, no one teaches you what to do. When I finally went out into the world after age 33, I definitely grew more than I'd ever grown before. But I always had a problem with housing. Moving from one place to the next, problems with work, up to 18 jobs, running my own business, braiding hair, doing everything that I could to survive. Yes, I have slept in my car when I needed to. Yes, I had an office and I slept on that office floor when I needed to. Yes, I've been in hotels and motels and inns and just all around. I've moved around and had to stay with people. But what happened yesterday was very clear that there is an ether, there is a comforter, there is a great spirit, an invisible overseer that has always looked out for me. And while the vision tarried about 37 years, it was fulfilled and manifested yesterday. It made sense to me at that moment why I had so many issues with housing, so many issues with different jobs, because that isn't what the ether wanted from me. To be in a place, like to live in the same apartment for 8 years, when I always knew from the age of 4 or 5 that travel was going to be a huge part of my life. So today you are looking at your new, I don't want to get emotional, full-time flight attendant for a small new airline company. And the lady told me yesterday, she said, we knew from the very beginning that we wanted you. We knew. We just had to go through all of the protocols. At the end of my one-on-one yesterday, when the lady said, congratulations, we would like to offer you. Let me say this. How did I know to apply for a flight attendant position? I was on the train, just like I am right now, on my way to work. And I have always been a dreamer, always had visions, always have gotten downloads. That is how I've been guided. And suddenly, I start getting a download about becoming a flight attendant. And the closer we got to Union Station, the lighter that light bulb got. My eyes kept getting wider and wider. And I was like, flight attendant, planes, hotels, travel. And I went back to that little girl when I was 5 years old and when I saw, and it was like, that's it. By the time I stepped off the train, I knew that I was going to become a flight attendant. This is called receiving direction and receiving guidance. And what that means is I have to be obedient to it. So I began researching like 4 or 5 weeks ago on what it all entails being a flight attendant. There is a perfect timing for everything. And I realized that the culmination of all of my experiences, all of my jobs, running my own business, even my illness, going back to school, having diverse friends, learning other languages, singing in other languages, all of the customer service that I obtained prepared me for that moment. But then it also made sense to me why I treated myself to a staycation in 2020 and lived out of my suitcase and wined and dined myself and went to hotels and went to inns and walked around beautiful historic downtown areas, little cute cottage towns, because it gave me the experience of living out of my suitcase. There are so many things that you do in the moment that you don't understand, but when a vision that tarries is manifested, or when it is fulfilled, the understanding comes. I only knew to apply for the flight attendant position because I received the download. I received the guidance. I received the direction. Speak life always into your psyche, into your heart, into your spirit. Stick to what you know and follow your gut. It doesn't matter how you look to people, or impractical or nonsensical things look. Trust the ether. Trust. Let's just say a week ago, I didn't have a job. A week later, I got the job that was meant for me to have. It don't take long when it's in the cards. Love you guys. I'm at work, guys. I was just thinking also about my passport. It was pressed upon me so hard in late 2020 to really push and renew my passport after like 20 years. I got my new passport and my travel card in late 2020, maybe October, November, something like that. And I am passport ready for this job. When you follow gut instruction, you are ready for the opportunities that are in your future that you don't even know is even there. So I don't have to scramble. I don't have to fall either. But I don't have to scramble for a passport, for anything. Like, I am literally ready to go. I love you guys. God bless.